Okay, I'm in crop mode, all right? No vignetting, no stabilization, okay? And I'm just walking around. And since it's at sunset, Brandon Aqua, if I get bit by mosquitoes, this is on you, okay? This is just for you, okay? So, what I usually do with cameras is I experiment in ways that some people have, but most people haven't, okay? I try to be different, and I try to do a perspective of someone getting a new camera, and it's a learning process of going through the menus, seeing what works, what doesn't work. As you know, I'm always dealing with adapters and stuff. I like using adapters, so let's say if I was going from Sony to Nikon, I buy a Nikon camera, I get an adapter, I can still use the old lenses until I have enough money to buy the actual native lenses for the camera. So how do I look? I look pretty good, but you might see some shakiness still, okay? Remember, the lens is not stabilized even if I turn on the IBIS. But that's the next part. So I'm going to go back into full frame mode, and then what I'm going to do is turn on the stabilization. So you'll see that you should see only a little bit of vignetting then, okay? But you will then see me, see I'm standing still. It's stable, right? I mean, camera's getting heavy, and I have to move my arm. But what I usually do is I like setting the camera down on a tabletop or something and then just talk to it. I figure that's the best way to vlog, because when you're walking around, I usually either trip over something, fall in a hole, roll down the ditch. Been there, done that, okay? So I'm gonna turn off this part, and what I'm gonna do is go back to full frame by turning on the IBIS. This is the end. Okay, full frame mode. You'll see the vignetting, so the IBIS is on. Do I look stable? Or did the electronic VR look better? So you see, it's not a crop, it's less of a crop, but you can see the vignetting, okay? And I'm walking around. So you've seen the crop with the VR, and the vignetting went away, okay? And that's with the stabilization. And this is in full frame mode, not in crop mode. So I'm walking around, and I'm just panning. How does the lens look? Is there any lens distortion? Okay, let me try it with both on. Okay, both IBIS and electronic VR on, and I'm walking. So I'm going to go in the garage, just walk around a little bit, change the scenery, see how it performs in the dark. So when I start facing where the sun is, then you'll see me getting bright again. So how do I look? Okay, Brandon, let's see how this looks. Now, taking pictures with the IBIS and the VR off completely, you know, electronic video or vibration reduction. Camera is stellar, all right? Most cameras that I do, if you just turn up the shutter speed, it's excellent. You won't get any vibration or anything. So photos are no problem with any lens. It's the video part that you have to worry about. And that's where most camera systems fail, is in the video part. So I'm walking around with both stabilization on. It's on normal, not sport. So I'm going to put on sport IBIS right now with the digital electronic VR, okay? Okay, sport is like for panning, okay? I'm just walking around, and electronic stabilization is on also, all right? And this is all in full frame mode. I haven't even put it in crop mode. So how do I look? So it seems like when I have only the electronic stabilization on, then it goes away and there's more of a crop. But when I turn on the IBIS, I guess that takes over because I look smaller in the lens. Okay? So I'm walking around. How does it look? Looks pretty good. It's only 4K 30, okay? I'm just trying to have 4K 30. So you'll probably let me know what you think of the stabilization, but it's looking good. So the reason why I was testing in the other video was to see if I can get this lens in full frame mode, which it is now, with stabilization on and off. And then what happened was I was having problems with overheating on the camera. So anyway, now I'm going to put it in crop mode with no stabilization. Okay, crop mode, no image stabilization. So it looks the same, right? But I'm walking around since the air conditioner is off. So you can probably see me a little bit more shaky since the stabilization is off. So I've already done the test with the full frame. I'm just walking around, looking at the grass, wondering if I should mow it. Mañana. Okay. Yeah. Look at these flowers. I just love looking at the crepe myrtles. Beautiful purple flowers. They'll probably be gone with the winds tomorrow from that hurricane. If it reaches over here, we'll just probably get high winds. I don't think we're going to get any rain. Not much. So this is crop mode, no stabilization. Now, since you have the Z30, I'll turn on electronic stabilization, and then we'll see if there's a crop. Okay, electronic VR is on, and there's a crop. But what we're looking at, and this will represent your Z30 right now, this is how you would look with this Sony 16mm pancake lens, which is full frame 24mm equivalent, okay? So if you get your kit lens, you know, 16 to 50, it's the same thing. So your 16 should be exactly like this with your electronic VR on. Now, with the kit lens, it is stabilized, I believe. This lens is not, okay? So I'm walking around, explaining things to you. How do I look? You see the crop, you see no vignetting, because it's in the right mode. It's in APS-C mode with an APS-C lens. So that's all I was experimenting was, not about the stabilization and stuff. I was using different lenses on this camera to see if f-mount worked, if the Megadap lens worked, and I use other Sony lenses with this also, and they're fantastic. I love the Zeiss 50mm f1.8, and it gives you like a 75mm equivalent to full frame. It would be a fantastic portrait lens, okay? So I'm just walking around. It's looking pretty good, okay? So now I'm going to turn on the IBIS, and let's see what happens if I get smaller.